Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. It's regular season volleyball back with us now as Kylie Putnam is getting ready to serve for the Suns as they host the Red Storm of United tonight here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Evan Wagner's on camera, taking Rig with the push across there. United's on your right, Southeastern on your left. And there is Morgan Wilcox with the kill. First point of the game goes to the Lady Suns. That was in, and a side out to the Red Storm. I believe number 18, Kendall Mills, on the kill. Short serve. That was down there by Ireland Marshall. Wilcox. Van Beck. Back to Wilcox. Tipped across. It was an attack by Ellie Rosine, and taking Rig hits it out of bounds. A service point for Ireland Marshall, her first. And it's 2-1 United. Sorry, guys, smidge of a late start here. We were doing changing a couple things up. Last second. Tipped across by Wilcox. Doug. Pushed across. Putnam. Van Beck. Taking Rig. Hits it out across court that time. Side out. Or point number 2 for Ireland Marshall. Tipped and blocked. That was a hit by Burns. There's Rig on another. A good dig by Burns. Burns is going to be on the attack again. It's going to come over. Putnam, overpass. Van Beck's there. Wilcox. Rig's going to have to come get it. She sends a free ball across. And out of bounds on the attack by Mills. Side out, 3-2. Suns will be serving. Coming back to serve will be Morgan Wilcox, number 15. Free ball if it gets there. It does. Smith is there. Riley Smith on the attack. Doug. Rosine on the attack. Smith got a hand on it. Van Beck bump set. Back row attack coming from Adriana Starks. And out on the attack by Mills. Evens the score at 3-3 here in set number 1 of the JV contest. Wilcox gets her first service point. Good dig by Kylie Putnam on a nice hit from United, but it's going to be Mills on the attack. Wilcox is there. Van Beck now cross court to Rig again. It goes off the block and down for a kill for Tegan Rig. Tegan Rig wears number 25. Gets her first kill. Wilcox gets her second point. Rig again on the attack. That one's going to be airmailed out of bounds. And a side out gives the lead. It's a tie now, 4-4. Putnam, Van Beck. Tipped by Rig, and it'll fall. Tegan Rig gets her third kill. Second kill, Melissa watching the Lady Suns from Plymouth. Thanks for joining us, Melissa. We appreciate it. Set back row. That was Marshall on the attack, and then it's going to fall for a side out. Tie the score at 5 apiece, and a couple subs coming in for United. Coming in to serve, looks like it's going to be number 6, Callie Hall, and into the front row comes number 15, Navia Bickerton. Riley Smith through the block of Willow Marston and down. Riley Smith will get the kill. And Rigg will come back to serve. And an ace for Tegan Rigg. Van Beck, Wilcox. Putnam has it blocked. An overpass on the dig. Middle it goes to Marston. The attack that time was by Burns. Putnam on the attack and the kill. Kylie Putnam gets her first kill. Tegan Rigg gets her second service point. And the Suns lead 8-5. Tegan Rigg off the attack from Marston with the dig. Riley Smith's going to push it across. Back set it goes. That is number 15 on the attack, Bickerton. So we'll go to Adriana Starks, who bumps it across. An overpass, knocked down by Burns, but dug by the Suns. And goes out of bounds, side out to the Red Storm. Putnam with the serve receive. Free ball's coming across. Outside on the attack was Marshall. It's tipped across. Far side, back it goes on attack from Bickerton. Now Putnam on the attack for the Suns. Nice dig over there by the libero. I believe number 5, Burns. Nope. Can't see it's not Burns. Burns has been playing in the front row. It's number 9. I can't read the number. I hit it out of bounds. Reese Murray, the libero over there. And a point for the Red Storm, and it goes to Delaney Burns, her first. Starks on the attack. Dug by number 6, Callie Hall. Push. Nope, didn't get it across. Marshall went up. Looked like she was trying to tip it. Couldn't get it to come across. A side out to the Suns. And coming back to serve is going to be number 9, Riley Smith. Down the right side that time. Marshall went down to get it. Middle it goes to Marston. Van Beck is going to get him out of system on the serve receiver, on the dig. Back row attack coming. And an ace for Delaney Burns. Or kill, excuse me, not an ace. She was serving previously. That's what got me. It's 9-8. And going back to serve will be the libero, Reese Murray, number 9. Starks on the serve receive. Van Beck over to Wilcox. Marshall hits it across and out. Trying to get a cross-court kill. Hits it a little long and out of bounds. Adriana Starks coming back to serve now for the Suns. 10-8 to score. Suns with the lead. A hit by Mills. Putnam. It's blocked. Wilcox is there. Van Beck. Back to Putnam again. She's going to send a free ball across and out this time. Side out to the Red Storm. A couple subs coming in for the aforementioned Red Storm. Rosine coming in as Hall takes a seat, and coming back in to serve is going to be number 3, Sarah Shimon. We'll be back for the varsity contest a little bit later this evening. So Riley Smith takes the serve. Middle it goes to Wilcox. She tips it across and down. Morgan Wilcox gets her first kill. And another side out for the Suns. Coming back to serve as they complete the rotation will be Kylie Putnam. Tipped across by Wilcox. Tegan Rigg on the hit, a little deep and out. Another side out makes it 11-10. And going back to serve, going to be number 2. That is Ira Lynn Marshall. Rigg on the attack that time, set her back up, and she drives that one home. Tegan Rigg gets her 3rd kill. And it's 12-10. And Wilcox on the serve, sends it long, a side out. Deep, Putnam with it. Van Beck bump set to Riley Smith. It's pushed up. It's going to have to be a free ball if they can get it across. They do. Good job over there by Burns to stay with it. Riley Smith on the attack. It's blocked and dug. Mills in the back row. Now Mills is going to come up on the attack. Van Beck back out to Rigg. Rigg's going to push it far side, right down the net, and a touch kill for Tegan Rigg. Tegan Rigg getting her 4th kill, and it's 13-11. And coming back to serve is going to be number 8, Jalen Van Beck. Mills chases after a bad pass. It's going to be a free ball coming across. Smith is there. Van Beck out to Rigg. Rigg on the attack. And that one is going to be out of bounds as well. Another side out. Not a lot of offense here, a lot of side outs. The difference is 1 offensive point for the Suns. 4-3 in offensive points, and that's the difference in the game right now. Riley Smith going to hit it into the net and tie it up at 13 as it is Callie Hall with the serve. It's 13-13. Marshall, middle, it comes to Marston, and she's going to hit it out. No touch, so it's 14-13. Rigg on the serve. It goes through the hands. And an ace. Probably technically wasn't. It was touched a couple times, but we'll give her one anyway. Tegan Rigg gets her 2nd ace. It's 15-13. That one's going to be hit deep and out by Bickerton. Another point for Rigg. And a sub going to come in for the Red Storm. Let's see who that is. Number 25, Bella Perry. Marshall on the serve receive. Perry comes across and gets it. Just not a good pass, but able to get there and get it across, just coming off the bench. That was a good play. And then Smith hits it into the net, and it's a side out, 16-14. Morgan Wilcox off the block of Marston. Willow Marston's been pretty active here in this one. Riley Smith gets in front of one again and hits it deep and out of bounds. It's another point for Delaney Burns, her 2nd. If you'd be so kind, please share the stream, like it, let your friends know where you're watching it at. And Riley Smith nonchalantly sends one across, and it won't fall in. And we're tied at 16 as Delaney Burns gets a 3rd service point. Rigg comes up to get it. Van Beck, a bump set's going to go out to Kylie Putnam. Putnam's hit is into the net. And it will be 17-16. Lead for the United Red Storm for the first time since very early. Putnam. Van Beck tips it across herself, and she'll get the kill. A little dunk for Van Beck, her first kill. And a side out ties it at 17. Coming back to serve is going to be number 9, Riley Smith. And she commences to serve it into the net, so a side out back the other way. And a service error for Reese Murray. Gives the serve right back to the Suns. And coming back to serve is going to be Adriana Starks. And she has a service error. And right back to the United Red Storm it goes. Couple subs coming in. Coming in to serve is going to be number 3, Sarah Shimon. And into the game also number 20, Ellie Rosine for the United Red Storm. There's a nice serve, but going down to get it was Rigg, and then Morgan Wilcox can't get a hand on it. It's going to be a hitting error and a point for Sarah Shimon and a timeout for the Suns. We'll take a break as well, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH right after this.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff.
And welcome back. Shortened the timeout on us there a little bit. Shimon back to serve again. Smith. Tegan Riggs going to push it right corner. Going over to get it was Marshall, but nobody else could do anything with it. It is a side out to the Suns. Suns trail 20-19. Putnam's serve is into the net. 21-19, United with the lead. Back to serve is going to be Ireland Marshall, and she's going to serve it into the net. A lot of service errors in this one. Rigg again pushes it right down the line. That time it was Burns diving after it, but she couldn't get there, and it's 21-21. Morgan Wilcox gets the point. And a hitting error results in a point for Wilcox again, her fourth. And another timeout as the Suns have rallied back to take a 22-21 lead here in set number 1. This match being brought to you this evening by Ron Ebby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. And with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Ebby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsellscars.com to check out their inventory. And Adams Experts, looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services? Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We can make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down. Wilcox, after serving 2 straight, is back at the service line. The libero, Reese Murray, there to get that one. Mills on the attack. Oh, one-arm dig by Wilcox. Van Beck comes to get it. Tegan Rigg now is going to go right down the line again. That time she pushes it too far, and out of bounds. A side out ties it at 22 on the technically a hitting error. Hop into live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We'd love to see some Red Storm fans in there as well. Van Beck pushes that one across. Marston is there. Going to be pushed by Rosine, and she lands it in the deep right corner, or her left corner, defensive right. And it's 23-22. Rosine gets her first kill. Starks. Riley Smith down the line and in. Riley Smith ties it at 23 as she gets her second kill. And Jalen Van Beck coming back to serve. I think Burns is going to get that. Back row coming from Marshall. And she's going to land it deep and beside a diving Wilcox. It's set point coming as Marshall gets the kill. Her first. Starks, Smith, Riggs going to push it out, across and out of bounds. Set one goes to the United Red Storm. And the Suns drop set one, 25-23. We'll take a break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, in just a couple minutes.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I chose MDH. We moved here and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
I would have to say that is the most rewarding part of what I do, making a difference in people's lives. Taking care of the women from puberty on through postmenopausal stages and seeing them go through the phases and stages of life.
And welcome back to Southeastern High School for JV volleyball action between the Southeastern Suns and the Red Storm of United. Set one goes to the Red Storm, 25-23. It'll be Jalen Van Beck coming in as the libero. Kara Stevens is going to be playing in this one. So things will switch up a little bit. If it's Adriana Starks, it's going to come out for Van Beck in the back row. Nope, it's going to be Kylie Putnam. And first server is going to be for the Red Storm. Ireland Marshall. And Wilcox tries to tip it across, but drops it out of bounds. A point for the Red Storm. Ireland Marshall gets her third service point, and then she serves that one into the net. It's a side out. We're tied at 1, and Morgan Wilcox coming back to serve for the Suns. That's hard off the net. Barely missed the net, and Mills put her hands up. Went off her, went off somebody else, but I'm going to call that an ace because there was no chance of doing anything with that. Morgan Wilcox gets her fifth service point, and her team gets a 2-1 lead. Marshall hit across there by Burns. Stevens comes to it. Rigg down the line and deep, out of bounds, another side out. Going back to serve is Reese Murray, so the rotation a little different here. Marston in, that serve is into the net. Side out, back to the Suns. Kara Stevens back to serve. They get it. It's going to be a free ball sent across by Murray. Van Beck is there. Stevens in the set. Tipped across by Smith. And the kill for Riley Smith. That'll be her third. Stevens will get the service point. Her first. She did not play in set number 1. It's 4-2 Suns. And a net violation on the serve. And subs coming in, excuse me, for the Red Storm. It is number 15 to the front row, Bickerton, and back to serve number 6, Callie Hall. Stark's going to bump it across. Hall come up to get it. Murray. Tipped across by Bickerton. That was Starks nearly getting a kill. Great dig by Murray. Marston sent it across. Stevens. Smith going to push it back across after it got blocked. Marston now is going to push it deep. Van Beck is there. Stevens going to go to Smith. Tipped across. Burns. Middle to Marston now. Marston tries to push it across and can't. Another point for the Suns. It's 5-3 and Tegan Rigg going back to serve. Bickerton sent it across that time. Putnam on the attack. Murray with a nice dig over there. Burns now. Stevens. Smith. Putnam sends it across. Marshall's there. Set. Marston. Off the net and down as Marston gets her first kill. Willow Marston gets the kill and another side out for the Red Storm. Going back to serve is going to be number 5, Delaney Burns. Bickerton sends it across. Putnam sends it deep. Murray's there. Hall. Marston gets her first good hit of the day. She gets her second kill. That was a nice set, a nice kill. Delaney Burns gets her 4th service point. And we are tied at 5. And 5 is serving. Putnam. Stevens back set Smith. She's going to send a free ball across. And that was an illegal hit by Burns. And it'll be a side out to the Suns. Coming back to serve will be number 9, Riley Smith. She's got 3 kills, no service points as of yet. Reese Murray goes down to get it. Hall sets to Marston. Bump set. Putnam push it down the line. Murray's there again. She's all over the place over there for the United Red Storm. Rigg. That's going to be Morgan Wilcox. Great dig by Marshall. It's going to be a free ball sent across by Hall. Stevens goes to get it. She's going to get it to Starks. She pushes it across. It's off the block. Burns. Wilcox. Rigg sends it deep. Murray's there again. Outside's going to come, and it's going to hit the foul pole, and a point for Riley Smith, her first offensive service point. And it is 7-5. Middle, Marston. She's going to bump it across with a fist. Putnam on the attack. It looks deep, but it's going to drop in. Murray's there. Hall out to Marshall now. It's tipped across. Starks is there. This will be you, me, you. And Starks bumps it across. Now it's going to come middle, Marston. Marston's going to hit it into the Campfire as the Campfire defense couldn't close on the fire fast enough. Marston gets her third kill. And she'll go back to serve now. Willow Marston did not serve in the first set. Deep. Starks is going to get called for the illegal hit, and we're tied at 7 as Willow Marston gets her first point and first ace. 7-7 here in set number 2. First one was 25-23 United. Suns trying to extend this one, but a second ace in a row for Willow Marston. And it's 8-7 United. Rigg, Stevens, Wilcox. Marshall stuck a hand up, took it away from Burns. Wilcox is going to get the kill, her second. Tied at 8. Back to serve will be Adriana Starks. Van Beck on the dig. Starks pushes it across. Hall, middle to Mills. Stevens goes to get it on the second hit. Putnam sends it deep. Burns is back there. Hall sets outside to Marshall. Marshall hits it deep and out. 9-8 Suns now as Starks gets her first service point. Well, there was some great volleyball played here at Southeastern during the Ladies Suns Classic on Saturday. You can go back and watch all that on TSSR Game Time Live on our Hulett PubliPro LLC YouTube channel. John Burton able to get to call all that great volleyball, and it was awesome. I actually watched live from the racetrack as an ace for Starks. Mills, dug by Rigg. Wilcox misjudged the set from Stevens, and it'll fall on the wrong side of the net if you're a Suns fan. And it'll be subs coming in. Rosine and I believe Shimon will come in, and she'll be serving. She will. 11-9. Red Storm trail by 2 as the Suns rolled off 3 straight there. See what Shimon and the Red Storm can do here. Rigg goes down to get it. Stevens is there. She's just going to push it across. It's going to come back. Van Beck. Putnam bumps it across. Murray's there. Shimon sets. Mills attacks. Rigg is there, and she missed it a little bit, and it's going to be a kill for number 18, Kendall Mills, her second. And it's 11-10. Suns now clinging to a 1-point lead. I don't know that anybody's led by more than 2 in this entire match, even in set number 1. Here's Rigg. Stevens back sets to Putnam. Putnam goes, chases it down, sends a free ball across. Murray going to bump set to Marshall. She hits it across. Van Beck is there. Bump set going to Putnam now. Nope, it's going to be Rigg sending it across. Blocked, pumped up by Stevens, bumped up by Wilcox, and across by Rigg. Middle is going to go to Mills again. Off the block, Rigg goes down to get it. Stevens is going to tip it right across. Coming up to get it was Shimon. Now Rosine on the attack, and she missed it just a little bit. And it's a side out to the Suns, and coming back to serve is going to be Kylie Putnam. She wears number 1. Free ball. Van Beck. Stevens. The tip has been working for the Suns. She did another one there. It's her 6th kill. Putnam's going to get the point. It's 13-10 Suns. Kylie Putnam gets her first service point. That's short. Shimon goes in and steals it away. No, it wasn't. It was Marshall, I guess. Excuse me. Riggs going to tip it. Marshall is there. Burns. Shimon sent it across. Stevens, middle to Wilcox. She finds that same corner. Marshall digs it with one hand. A free ball is going to come across. Starks, Stevens, out to Rigg. Rigg off the block of Mills. It's dug by Burns. Burns is going to send the ball across now. And now it's going to be Starks sending it across, and she can't quite get it there. It's going to be a side out. And Reese Murray is going to go back to serve with her team down by 2. That was the first 3-point lead, I believe, of the match for either team. But they've cut it to 2 and look to cut it some more as the Suns have the 13-11 lead. And Stevens pushed that one across. They're able to dig it up. Mills comes that deep corner again, right corner of the defense, left corner of the offense. And there's been a few kills back in that corner. And they have painted that deep corner very well on several occasions, have the Red Storm. Much like the Suns have tipped and found the hole on the left front of the defense, the Red Storm are finding the hole on the right deep corner of the defense. Now it's going to be Tegan Rigg after a few tips, and there's another tip kill right to the middle that time. A side out and another kill for Rigg. She's got 6. 14-12, timeout charged to the Red Storm. This game is being brought to you by Western Illinois University. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there's limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. And McDonough District Hospital, athletic trainers and MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell, Macomb, provide expert help to all area athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring. Wilcox serving. Into the net, a 4 hits violation and a point for Wilcox, her second of the serve. She's got 7 unofficially. It's 15-12. Riley Smith, Shimon, back to Burns. Starks is there. Rigg. Murray for the Red Storm. Mills now on the attack. Finds a deep corner. That time it was the opposite side, but it's a kill. And Mills gets her 4th kill. Marston checking in. Mills checking out. Deep middle. Putnam's there. Stevens. Riley Smith nearly missed hit it, but it blocked right back down. Suns get it back across. Burns on the attack. It's off the hands of Stevens, out of bounds. A point for Reese Murray. Her first service point, and it's a 1-point match, 15-14. It's a 1-set-none lead for United in the sets department. And that never got touched, I don't think, but they said it did. There's an attack by Marshall. And Marston is going to beat Stevens at the net. And Marston is going to get the kill. Could have been a block, but I'm going to call it a kill. And we're tied at 15. Wilcox, Putnam, Rigg sends it across. Rosine, Marston. Stevens, middle, Riley Smith, out of bounds. Reese Murray gets her third straight service point, gives her team a 16-15 lead. Smith, good job. Burns going down to get it. Murray sends it across. Stevens now is going to set outside to Rigg. Rigg on the attack, dug by Murray. Coming off Marshall from the back row, getting the kill. Ireland Marshall gets her second kill. And 17-15 Red Storm. Putnam comes out. Libero, Jalen Van Beck checks back in. Whoa, that one's quite a ways out of bounds. Went off the hand of Murray that time. That's going to be Kara Stevens coming back in. 17-16. Coming back to serve, I should say. Burns. Shimon. Burns again. Van Beck. Stevens is there. Rigg now is going to tip it. Shimon went to get it. Now it's going to be back Marshall. Stevens. Middle Smith. And she'll find the hole for the tip. And it's 17-17. Kara Stevens gets her second service point. Marston. Starks. Rigg. Gonna go middle Marston. Dug by Wilcox. Out to Rigg again. This time she's going to go hard on the attack. It's dug by Marshall. Burns now. Dug by Van Beck. Starks. Shimon to Burns. Van Beck chases it down. Stevens comes back to get it. Smith's going to send a free ball across. Murray's there. Now to Shimon. Middle to Marston, and she's going to get called for a violation, and the Suns will take the lead 18-17. Again, we are in set 2. It was 25-23 United in set 1, and that's going to be an ace for Stevens. Fourth point, just her first ace, and it's 19-17. Sub coming in for the Red Storm. Marshall's going to go out. Coming in is going to be number 13, Katie Dutton. Middle, Marston. Van Beck is there. Stevens to Rigg. And Rigg hits it a little deep. 19-18 on the side out after the hitting error. Bickerton coming in to the front row and coming back in to serve and sets Callie Hall for the Red Storm. Her serve looked like it was out of bounds. Starks went to get it. Middle it goes to Smith, who airmailed it to the coach on the far side. It's 19-19. Callie Hall gets her second service point. Van Beck goes down to get a serve. It's going to be a cross. Good job digging it out of the net and making something happen. Middle to Marston now, and she's going to hit it long and out. 20-19, Suns with the lead on the side out. Coming back to serve is going to be number 25, Tegan Rigg. Putnam comes in. Van Beck goes out. Off the ceiling. Bickerton sends it across. Stevens back sets Starks. Starks is dug by Dutton. And passing error 2 later. It's 21-19. Marshall comes in. Dutton goes out. Tegan Rigg gets the service point, her 5th. It's 21-19. Marston. Rigg. Stevens sets out to Putnam. Putnam on the attack down the line. Dug by Reese Murray. That's going to be Bickerton sending it across. Smith Rigg blocked by Marston. Putnam again. This time it's going to go left. Murray goes to get it. Barnes on a very low set, but she made it work. Bumped across by Putnam. Marston again. This time she's going to get the kill. 21-20. Marston has got her fifth kill, and I believe all but one of them are here in set number 2. That was Burns getting the service point. It'd be her 5th. Putnam on the attack. So go outside. Marshall. Dug by Rigg. Stevens comes to get it. She punches it. Putnam sends it across. Murray. Hall. Marston. On the hitting air. And a timeout charged to United, I do believe. We'll take one as well, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
And welcome back. Jalen Van Beck coming back to serve with her team up by 2, down a set here late in set number 2. Hall going to set middle. Nope, it's going to be Burns sending it across. Stevens. Putnam. Marshall. Starks on the attack. Bickerton. Starks. Murray, now Marston again. Van Beck comes up to get it. Putnam. Marshall. Van Beck on the dig. Middle to Wilcox. She pushes it across. Marston. Out to Putnam. And Putnam is going to get the kill. Kylie Putnam gets her second kill. Van Beck gets the service point. Be her first, actually. And the subs coming in. Short serve by Van Beck. Coming in to set number 22, Brooke Hennefant. And she can't get to that one. It's 24-20. Van Beck gets the ace. And she's serving for set point. A chance to send it to 3 here. Hennefant comes back out. Murray's there. Marshall on the attack. Rigg. Stevens to Putnam. Off of the block of Marston. And we're going 3 here as Putnam gets her 3rd kill. Van Beck gets her 3rd service point. And the Suns win 25-20. And we're ready to go 3 in the JV match here from Southeastern High School. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And 1 minute to go before set number 3, 25-20. Suns get the win in set 2. We are going 3 in the first one of the night here from Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Evan Wagner is up on the camera per usual here at Southeastern. He's one of the best camera guys we got, and he's finds his way to Southeastern. Of course, I think he's a sophomore here, so that helps a little bit. And looks like it will be United with the serve first, and it will be Ireland Marshall. Ireland Marshall going back to serve first here in set number 3. Short. Starks comes up to get it. Van Beck. They're back to their set 1 form for the Suns, and Rigg hits it out of bounds. Marshall is going to get her 4th service point. It's 1-0 Red Storm. Let serve. Smith goes down to get it. Van Beck tries to push it across. Can't. It's going to be 2-0 Red Storm. 5 points now for Ireland Marshall. Shimon sets to Mills. Off the block of Wilcox, and a kill for Mills, her 5th. It was all Marston for the most part in set number 2 for the Red Storm, but it's 3-0 here, and 6 points for Marshall now from the service line. Riley Smith, a little trouble there. Rigg comes to get it. Riley Smith, or Wilcox is going to send it across. Mills dug by Putnam. Burns sends it down. Wilcox now, and they can't do anything with it. Another point, 4-0 for the Red Storm. 4 straight to open set number 3. Seemed like the momentum had switched to the Suns, but you wouldn't tell it by looking at set number 3. Smith. Riggs going to try and push it across. She does. Marshall chases it down. It'll be a 3rd ball. It's going to get across. Van Beck is there. Rigg. Outside Burns. Burns deep corner and in. From one corner to another, Burns gets the kill. Her 2nd. It's 4-0 here, or 5-0, excuse me, in set number 3. Riggs going to send a free ball across. Shimmer. And Mills hits it into the net for a side out. Coming back to serve is going to be Morgan Wilcox for the Suns. Her team down 5-1 here in set number 3. It's 1 set apiece. And Reese Murray receives the serve. It's going to be Marshall sending it across. Van Beck sets it out to Rigg. Rigg is dug in the back row by Marshall. Starks now. Van Beck, middle to Smith, blocked by Mills, pushed back by Mills. Wilcox, Van Beck, back to Smith again. Again blocked by Mills, but this time it goes the other direction, and Riley Smith is going to get the kill. Her 4th. And Wilcox back to serve a 2nd time. She has got 8 service points. Marshall sends it across. Wilcox is there. Van Beck out to Rigg. Rigg on the attack. It's blocked. Up it goes. It's dug. Pushed across. Van Beck can't track it down. And a side out makes it 6-2. Marston comes in. Mills goes back to serve. Reese Murray, the libero, take a seat while Mills is serving. Van Beck out to Smith. And then some communication problems results in a side out. And coming back to serve is going to be number 8, Jalen Beck. Marston on the attack. She hits that one deep and out. 6-4. Van Beck gets her 4th service point. Overpass, put back across by Starks. Shimmer. Murray's going to send a free ball across. Putnam's there. Van Beck, Rigg. Again, Reese Murray is there. I should keep track of Diggs because she's had a bunch of them. And somehow they miscommunicated, but Rosine got that one across. And then Smith, and they let Shimmer get away with in the net there, but no call. Van Beck to Rigg. Rigg's going to tip it. Marston sets to Burns. Burns sends a free ball across. Van Beck now sends it out to Rigg. Rigg was going in. The set went deep. She was able to get it across. Now Marston on the attack. Off the block of Smith. It's going to be pushed up. They're not going to get it. A good dig by Putnam, but couldn't rally enough to get it across. And it's going to be Callie, Hall coming in. Also Bickerton coming in for the Red Storm. We're in set 3 JV match here. Van Beck, Smith. A let kill attempt, and it's going to fall. Burns gets the kill, her 3rd. Callie Hall gets her 3rd service point. And it's 8-4. A 4-point lead for the Red Storm. Van Beck. Smith hits it in. Riley Smith gets the kill and a side out for the Suns. Her 5th kill. Coming back to serve is going to be Tegan Rigg. Tegan Rigg serving things up for the Suns now. And some more communication issues. And a point for Tegan Rigg and the Suns. Tegan has 6 service points, and it's 8-6. Middle it goes to Marston. Marston with a big kill. Nice set by Hall. And Marston gets another kill. She's got 6. And going back to serve is going to be Delaney Burns for United. An overpass on the serve. Back set, it's going to go to Bickerton, and she tips it into the net. Side out back to the Suns, 9-7. Riley Smith coming back to serve now. Another attack by Marston. Van Beck on the set. Putnam. Pushed across by Marshall. Van Beck, middle to Morgan Wilcox. Murray tracks it down on a bad pass. Marston sends it across. Putnam off the block. Gets the kill. Smith, gets the service point. Putnam gets her 4th kill. It's 9-8. Marshall. Down the net, dug by Putnam. Wilcox tips it. Marshall's there. Hall sets middle to Marston again. Marston's dug by Starks. Van Beck comes to get it. Putnam sends it across, but out. Side out to the Storm, and it's 10-8. Reese Murray going back to serve. She's had a great game at the libero position for the Red Storm. Probably 3 handfuls of digs at least. There's Wilcox on the attack. Deep and out. Reese Murray also has 5 service points now to go along with all those digs from the libero position. Her team leads 11-8. Middle serve, Smith down, Van Beck. And Putnam looked like she was going to go get it. Wilcox thought she was going to get it, and then she backed out, and Wilcox couldn't do anything with it. A 6th service point for Murray, and she's back to serve again. That one drops. She might have mishit that a little bit, but it fell in front of Tegan Rigg, and it's 13-8, largest lead of the game for the United Red Storm. It's actually the largest lead of the match for the Red Storm, and they are taking control here in set number 3. This game being brought to you by the McDonough Telephone Cooperative, the Westbury game streams, which includes Westbury Southeastern football, of course, are made possible in part by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. And Sports Corner at 124. Sports Corner at 124, your original local sports bar. Sports Corner at 124. With a focus on local sports, catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Wilcox. It's going to be Marshall. Smith is there. Van Beck sets back out to Putnam. Putnam sends a free ball across. Murray's there. Hall. Marshall sent it across. Now an overpass, and Marshall just mistimed the hit. And she is less than impressed with herself, but it's a side out nonetheless. And Adriana Starks coming back with her team down by 4, 13-9. Marshall's there. Back set it goes to Bickerton. Mills is back in. Wilcox tips it. Murray's going to send it across. And it does get across. Putnam's there. Van Beck back to Putnam. Putnam off the block, dug by Burns. That's going to go out to Marshall. Marshall to Rigg. Rigg sends it to Van Beck. Van Beck back to Putnam. Burns now to Hall. And Bickerton hits it into the net. Starks gets the service point, her 4th. And it's 13-10. Burns, Hall, Mills, dug by Smith. The Rigg pushing it across. Murray comes to get it. Mills on the attack. Starks goes down to get it. Van Beck. Now it's going to be Wilcox sending it across. Murray comes to get another one. Attack from the back row by Burns. Van Beck middle to Wilcox, and Wilcox hits it into the net. Side out on the hitting air, 14-10. Rosine coming in, and Shimon coming in. Shimon will be serving. Her team up by 4, 14-10. Rigg pushes it across. Murray's there to no surprise. Mills on the attack. Starks digs it. Out of self-defense, really. Putnam then drives it into the net. Another hitting error, another point for Shimon as she gets her 2nd. Her team leads by 5 again, 15-10. Rigg, Van Beck, middle to Wilcox. Off the block of Mills. It's going to fall for a kill for Morgan Wilcox. It'll be her 3rd. And Kylie Putnam going back to serve now for the Suns. A 4-point game. 15-11. Rosine. Burns. And 3 players come to try to knock it over, and nobody gets there. It's a point for the Suns, and Kylie Putnam gets her 2nd service point. 15-12 the score. A race to 25 here in set number 3 for the win. Middle to Mills. Mills hits it deep and out. 15-13. Putnam has 2 straight. Putnam. Burns out to Rosine, tips it across to the left hand. Putnam goes down to get it. Rosine there for a block. Side out. Serve back to the Red Storm. Going back to serve is Ireland Marshall. Starks, Van Beck, over to Rigg. She has to wait on it, so she just pushes it across. Murray's there. Now Mills. Mills off the block of Wilcox, dug by Starks. Wilcox sends it across. Mills deep corner again, and she's up to 6 kills. Marshall gets the service point. It's her 9th. 17-13. Rigg on the attack. It was dug by Marshall. Van Beck, middle to Wilcox. Blocked by Mills, her first block. And another point for Marshall. Give her 10. 18-13. This is set 3 of the JV match. We'll take a break after this and come back in our second stream. But this is going to be a good one down the stretch here. That was Wilcox. Now it's going to be Delaney Burns. Now Wilcox tipping it again. Burns goes to get it. Shimon. Pushed across by Mills. Now to Rigg. Dug by Murray. Go figure. Back row now by Marshall. Smith is there. Van Beck. We have free ball sent across by Riley Smith. Shimon. Middle to Mills, and she's going to go down and out the left side. A side out to the Suns. And going back to serve is going to be Morgan Wilcox. She wears number 15. She's got 8 service points, including 1 ace and 3 kills unofficially tonight. Hard low serve for Morgan Wilcox, her 9th point, 2nd ace. She's going to try to serve her team back into this. Down 18-15 now. Murray. Burns to Wilcox. Van Beck. Riley Smith blocked by Mills again. We have free ball. Shimon to Mills. Drives it home for a kill. Kendall Mills has got her 7th kill to lead the Red Storm, and she'll go back to serve now. She's not served any service points, but her team leads 19-15. Let serve goes off of Rigg. It's going to be a free ball sent across by Smith. Shimon. Marston mishit it, but it's going to fall in for a kill. And a timeout's going to be charged to the Suns. The 7th kill for Marston. Mills gets her first service point. We'll take a quick break as well and be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH after this.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
And welcome back to Southeastern High School. 20-15, set number 3. We're at 1 set apiece, obviously. It was 25-23 United in set 1, 25-20 Southeastern in set 2. And we are ready to go with the finishing portions of this set number 3. Mills is back to serve again. Red Storm have led several times by 5. They have not grown the lead any larger than that. Mills hopes they can here. Smith, Shimon, and they will not. So the side out. Maybe breathe a little more life back into the Suns here. Back to serve is going to be Jalen Van Beck. Bruns, Wilcox, Van Beck tips it across. Marston goes to get it. Shimon to Rosine. And Rosine's going to get the kill on a side out. For Rosine, it's her second kill. She's also got a block. It's 21-16. Going back to serve is Callie Hall. This has been the area of the match when it's been good for United. Usually the Suns had been able to close the gap a little bit during that portion of the rotation. Marston, though, as I jinxed it, hit it into the net for a hitting error. Coming back to serve is going to be Tegan Rigg. What I was saying is when Hall has been in against kind of the seconds on seconds, you might say, United has opened. And there's a free ball crossed, and then Starks just dumps it down in very quickly. And she gets the kill. And it's 21-18. She doesn't get a kill. Rigg gets a point. Free ball came. Van Beck, middle Smith. So we brought across by Hall. Smith again. Now Burns is going to push it across. Van Beck is there. Smith. Starks. Marston. Out to Delaney Burns. Tipped up by Starks. Now it's going to go out to Putnam. Putnam hits it into the net. 22-18. And Delaney Burns going back to serve. What a serve. Putnam went to get it. Nobody else could do anything with it. Delaney Burns threw up a rock at that time. It's 23-18. Van Beck sends the free ball across. Murray. Marston. I'm not sure if Marston was trying to fake that. There's no way she was going to get that. Marshall stood there and watched it. It's a 4-point lead. 23-19. Riley Smith back to serve. Murray out to Marshall. Putnam's going to push it across. Back row attack coming from the libero, Reese Murray, and she hits it into the net. And a timeout's going to be charged to the, I'm not real sure who called that. I believe that the United Red Storm called it. A very short timeout for the Suns. Red Storm wanted to stop any bleeding that might be occurring before it became serious. So we'll see if they can get a side out after this timeout. Smith back to serve again. It's 23-20, set number 3. Marshall, Hall, Marston, Starks, Putnam. Murray's there on another dig. Marshall comes up to get it on a bad set. Out to Putnam. She gets it across. Murray's there again. An overpass. Putnam's going to hit that one out of bounds. And a side out and a match point coming for the Red Storm, and their second leading server on the night, Reese Murray, going back to serve for the match. Smith is there. Tegan Rigg sending it across. Burns came up with Mills now deep right corner and in. What placement by Mills on another kill. That's her 8th, and that's how it's going to end. 25-23, 20-25, 25-20 in 3 sets. The United Red Storm get a win over Southeastern. We'll look at some stats real quick here. For the United Red Storm, Ireland Marshall had 10 service points unofficially and 2 kills. Sarah Shimon had 2 service points. Delaney Burns had 6 service points, including 1 ace, and she also had 3 kills. 3 points for Callie Hall, 7 points for Reese Murray, and a ton of digs. Willow Marston had 2 service points, including 2 aces, and she also had 7 kills. Kendall Mills had 1 service point, 8 kills and a block. Ellie Rosine had 2 kills and a block. For the Suns, Kylie Putnam had 3 points and 4 kills. Jalen Van Beck had 4 points, including an ace, and then added a kill. Riley Smith had 2 points and 5 kills. Morgan Wilcox had 9 service points, including 2 aces, and she had 3 kills. Adriana Starks had 4 points, including an ace. Kara Stevens had 4 points, including an ace. And Tegan Rigg had 7 points, including 2 aces, and she had 7 kills. Once again, 25-23, 25-23, 20-25, 25-20. A 3-set win for United here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the varsity matchup on our next stream in just a few minutes. Join us there.